Hello friends, welcome to my showcase of the Star Wars The Black Series Jedi Survivor Kestis and Dagan Gera. Now, the Dagan Gera is a brand new figure, while the Kestis came out some time ago, and due to him being an older figure, we're going to look at two figures together. So let's pull them out of the box and take a closer look at them. Alright, we have them out of the packages. Now, I did go ahead and grab another figure from my collection. Now, so this character is the same as this one. They are both Kestis. And while we take a look at each figure, I'll give a brief rundown of who they are, as they're from a video game series, and if you've never played it, you probably have no idea who they are. So first, let's start with this Kestis. Now, this is Padawan Kestis. Now, Cal is a survivor from the Purge, so the Order 66. He survived as a scrapper on Braca and hiding, and you follow his journey throughout the games of him surviving during the rise of the Empire. Now, this figure is actually a custom, but not. It's just different parts on a figure. So if you buy a Padawan Kestis, it won't look this way. But so I have him with his double-bladed lightsaber, his droid BD1, a poncho, and then that's pretty much all that is a custom about him. So there's a look at his face. Now, his actor, I can't remember the last name, but he is based off of a real face. The actor's name is Cameron, and he looks fairly close to what the actor looks like. Now, the BD1 paint job is not what BD1's supposed to look like. That's just a cosmetic from the game. So just a brief look, as he is not the main focus. The main focus is his older variant of when he was promoted to a Jedi Knight. So this is Jedi Knight Kestis. Now, after the journey of the first game, Cal goes off to continue fighting the Empire with Saw Gerrera. I don't have Saw Gerrera, but he does appear in Star Wars Rogue One, if you want to know who that character is. So, let's take a look at Cal with articulation and accessories. So, pull off his lightsaber. Alright, so Cal comes with this vest. It doesn't hinder too much movement, but he does have a butterfly joint, so his shoulders can go forward that far and back about that. So more forward than back. And then his shoulders go up and down. He has single elbows, which can go about that far. And then he does have an up and down at the wrist. Now the left side is the same, but his left side has a trigger finger for his blaster. But it's the same articulation. Next, at the waist, he can go back that far and forward. He can't go too far forward, unfortunately. And then legs, forward that far and back. And then he has single knees, which can go back that far with a pivot at the ankle and a forward and back. So next, we're going to look at his accessories. And to start off, gotta find the pickle. Alright, there we go. We're going to pull his blaster out of his holster. And so this is his blaster given to him by his friend, Bode, in the games. So it has some nice detail sculpted into it with a silver wash. And then the handle is brown, if it will focus. Alright, there we go. Some brown paint on the handle to highlight it. It does fit in his hand well. If I can get him to stand. There we go. And it does go into his hand nicely, and he does hold it fairly well. Now, if you're not a fan of this particular blaster, the Mandalorian's, Din Djarin's blaster does fit in the holster the same. Alright. Now his lightsaber. Now his lightsaber for this figure is only a single bladed lightsaber, but he does have 4 different stances he uses, which is the single bladed version. He does have a heavier crossguard, but they did not include the variation for that. And then the double bladed lightsaber, which came with Baby Cal, which he does split into 2, but the only one they gave us for this figure is this single bladed hilt. But this lightsaber is actually his master's, who did not survive Order 66. But Cal lost his Padawan saber and inherited his master's. Now there is a loop on the lightsaber for a little peg on Cal's belt that he can hang, and it can hang on his belt. I didn't remove the blade just because I have a phobia of breaking the blades when pulling them out. But overall, he is a really nice figure. There are some things I would like to see, like for instance, he does come with his droid BD-8. BD-8 does have some articulation at the legs, and then some head articulation as well. But BD rides on Cal's back, and when this figure first came out, they did not put a peg hole for him. So I just simply took a knife, cut a little peg hole in the back, which allows BD to ride on his back. Let me just get it in position. So it's an easy modification that I wish the creators would have done, but it's easy to do ourselves. And so you can have BD1 riding on Cal's back by just putting that little hole in the back. So there you go. So that was a quick look at Cal and BD1. Get him in the back. One day I'll become experienced enough to get them to stand without falling over all the time. So now let's take a look at Dagan Gera. Now, Dagan Gera is not a survivor of the Purge. He is a Jedi Knight from the Old Republic, which occurred a century or 2 before the Jedi Purge ever happened. Now, Dagan Gera was preserved in a Bacta tank prison, and he has hatred for the Jedi as he discovered a planet called Tanalorr, but the Jedi refused to let him start a youngling school on the planet, which he held resentment for when the Jedi abandoned it. Now, his Jedi Knight crystal color was yellow, but through the process of bleeding crystals, which is pouring your hatred into the crystal, he turned his saber red. So let's take a look at him real quick. And in the events of the game, Cal Kestis frees him from his prison and then has to stop him from causing destruction to the planet and everything. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But let's take a look at Dagan Gera. Now, Dagan is missing his arm, and to cover that up, they just have this plug here. But they are releasing another version with his other arm, his Force arm, and I do have that coming when it releases, so stay tuned for that figure. But we're going to take a look at his articulation. I don't know what species Dagan is, but he is a humanoid with gray skin. But so articulation, his shoulder can go that far. Now forward and back is hindered a little bit by his robe, but not too bad. And then that is back. So it's hindered more going back because of his cape. Now, his wrist is an up and down. There is no right side. And then his legs, he does not have hip swivels, but he can go forward that far, back that far, and then with a bend at the knee, back that far. And then he does have swivels at the ankle, and then a back and a forward pin. overall, he does have very close likeness to the video game character. Now the Jedi Knight Cal doesn't look as close to his motion capture actor, but Dagan's looks a lot closer and better, which could be attributed to probably the advancement in the technology since the Cal came out. So here they are side by side. And now we're going to look at Dagan's lightsaber. Now he is from the High Republic, so his lightsaber is a bit more colorful. He does have this gold highlight at the emitter with silver, if it will focus. Silver at the handle with a black grip. Now he does come with two sabers. He can hold split apart, or they do connect into one double-bladed saber. And there is a groove, so if you put them in wrong, they won't go together all the way, and so you just rotate it and then they will fit snugly. So overall, these are probably some of my favorite characters from Star Wars, especially the new media. Get Dagan back on camera frame. And so yeah, these are probably some of my favorite new characters to the Star Wars universe. And I look forward to the upcoming Jedi game, which does not have a release date yet, but yeah, I definitely like these figures. They are more than fine additions to the collection. And thank you for watching. I hope you found this video enjoyable. And if there's a character I may have, like I've been saying in my videos, let me know and I'll see if I have them, and I will pull them in for another look at a figure. For instance, like what I did with Cal here. He's an older figure I had gotten a little bit ago, and then I pulled in the even older one to go with all three of them. So, but yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.